I am so excited. Today, I'm gonna try growing mushrooms for the first time ever. Hey Provident Preppers, I am so excited because I have wanted to grow mushrooms for a really long time and just have never gotten around to it. And today I'm going to start my very own little mushroom garden. Now what I have here is a kit. It's an indoor garden kit that Field and Forest Products sells. And I was talking to Phoebe about what I should do to start, because before I get into any adventure, I have to learn about it, right? And I wasn't quite sure how all of this worked. Now, this kit is one that they sell for $150. You can buy all kinds of different mushrooms separate, and you can buy the mushroom spawn, and you can do all these different things. But for my first attempt, I thought that this tabletop kit would be a really good way to start, because it has 6 different varieties. Now, quite frankly, I love mushrooms, but there's only a few mushrooms that I've even tried. So not only is this going to be a growing adventure, but it should expand my culinary palette with some different types of mushrooms. So let's just get started. I'll do these boxes one at a time because they're all different. And I'll show you how we're gonna start it, and then we will watch the process over the next few weeks as they grow and as I harvest them, and see whether or not this is worth 150 bucks. Okay, so I'm gonna start with lion's mane, and I'd actually never even heard of this type of mushroom. And part of me feels a little bit guilty because it's so super easy to do this. So it comes with some really good clear instructions, which I was really happy about. Also, if you go to Field and Forest's YouTube channel, they have every single variety of mushrooms that they sell, and they show you exactly how you should start each mushroom. Okay, so it's this easy. All you have to do is take a nice sharp knife, and we're going to make a horizontal or a cut right across there. That's it. And now I'm gonna go stick it in the window. Now, according to Field and Forest, you can grow these anywhere. You could literally put them on the tabletop, and that's why it's called a tabletop garden. But I have a nice place over here in my window that I think would be perfect for it. Okay, so this one is Pioppini. Is that how you say it? Does anybody know? But it's got just a bunch of little teeny tiny mushrooms, and this one actually is even easier than the other one. So, and I should show you these kits. So the kit is really cool. So if you look at it, it's like this square brick that has some mycelium all over. You can tell it's just rich and beautiful. But with this one, all you do is actually open it up like this so that this little air vent can start working its magic. And we'll go put it on the windowsill. Okay, feeling a little guilty. This is way easy. So this one's the oyster tabletop mushrooms. And again, we've got the really cool stuff in here talking about the mushrooms and instruction sheet on exactly how to grow them. And I'll actually be putting these in my little garden binder so that I have them forever, but that's way cool. So this one, let's just pop it out. Again, just beautiful, right? It's got this extra bag. Okay, so here's the oyster tabletop farm, and it's just beautiful. Like, well, okay, if you like funguses, right, or fungi. But again, the directions just tell us that we take the sharp knife and just slit it like that. This one came with the extra bag, so I'm not quite sure if I have misunderstood, which is possible. But I'm just gonna set it right back in here. And then we're going to put our little oyster mushrooms out in the window. Shiitake mushrooms. This is gonna be a lot of fun. So this one is different than the others. And again, we've got our directions that if we follow, we'll have great results. And so I'm gonna take this out. Now this one is a little bit different. So it comes with this bag, and it tells us that we are supposed to remove this, all of this, and put it on a plate so it can stain. So I just have one of my Corelle plates, and then this is just a piece of baking paper that I cut out to fit on it just so it doesn't stain my plate. I don't know if it would or not. So after thinking this through, if this one's gonna be juicy, it might be a really good idea for me to glove up. So I am going to do that. And then just cut off this top. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm sick if I think this is really pretty, right? You know what I'm gonna do here. Let's just cut it lower. And then let me just flip it, right? There we go. Okay, that wasn't that messy, but it definitely is moister than the other ones. And then this is a humidity tent. Actually, it's a plastic bag, but we're gonna call it a humidity tent. And we're just gonna drape this over the top. We want plenty of air to be able to get in there, but just keep the moisture in. This kit is black pearl mushrooms. And again, you've got all your directions. Ooh, another recipe. Black pearl risotto. Yum. Okay, so we'll have to try that. Really good instructions. Now this one is super simple. It is actually wrapped in a bag in here, so I'm gonna take the bag off. Take it out. Again, look, I mean, the mycelium, it's beautiful. It looks healthy, and not that I'm an expert, but from what I've been looking, what I've been researching, it looks just really beautiful. And then with this one, all we're gonna do is cut off the top and open it up and put it out so it can grow. And the last one is king oyster mushrooms. Ooh, another recipe. Oh, I can't wait. And it comes with the directions. And then this one, all we have to do, let's take it out here for a second. Again, when we're looking at it, it's beautiful. It's really pretty. I'm just gonna put it back in here, and all we do with the king oyster is just cut off the top and open it up. Now this mushroom actually likes it a little bit cooler than the others, so I'm gonna put it in a spot that might be just a little bit cooler now. Well, we'll talk about the conditions in this room in just a minute. Okay, I am so excited to see what happens over the next couple weeks. There are a few things that I'm gonna watch for. So now this one needs cooler temperatures. So it's actually gonna be over here on the rack with all of the other plants, because although it's winter time and we're gonna have a lot of snow, hopefully we'll have a lot of snow again, this sunny window can actually get a little bit warm. So I might have to reevaluate as things go on whether or not this window is a good option, or if I should just have them over here underneath the lights. But this one also needs 8 to 12 hours of light a day, and so the plants over here are definitely getting that light, so it'll be good for it. Hopefully it'll be good for it. But I'm also going to watch the humidity level and make sure that I'm misting these so that they don't dry out. So I'm really excited. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Seriously, mushroom growing is so much fun. This is more fun than I thought it was gonna be. I knew I wanted to do it because of the nutritional component, and that I can grow them inside. I can also grow them outside, but you know, I wanted to do it, but this is so much fun. Now, I made a few changes since the beginning because all the different types of mushrooms are, quite frankly, a little bit much for me to keep organized in my brain. And so I made this little binder, and all the super helpful sheets that it came with and the recipes, I've just organized them in here in sheet protectors so that I won't make them dirty. And then I also created a spreadsheet on the front that says exactly the kind of mushroom, the kind of light, what to do with it and all that, just so that I could figure it all out at one glance. Now, this is super, super exciting. I have distilled water in here, and the reason I put distilled water is just because our water's chlorinated, and I didn't want to cause any issues with the mushrooms, right? But check this out. These are shiitake mushrooms, and look at this. Look at that. It's so beautiful, and it's so much fun. Now, these are just forks in here, because I know that they said it didn't really matter if the bag was touching the mushrooms, but I felt better inside. So I just stuck some forks in there because I didn't have any dowels. But these are just absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to taste them. Now, the mushrooms all grow at different rates. You can see some of them starting in here, these little tiny guys, but these are all different varieties. And they take different moisture. Like this one, when I opened it up, we just left it in the bag, and I can see the very beginnings of the mushroom, but that one's gonna take longer to grow. These have started to, Field and Forest really made it easy with these mushroom kits. They're just so cool. Now, look at this one. This is the Oyster Tabletop Farm, and it is super cool. We just slashed it, and this one likes lots of moisture, right? So I have been good about spritzing it. But if you remember, I put these in the window on the first day in the direct sun. And then I spent the rest of that day really trying to understand them, and I'm like, oh, I don't think that was the best place for them to be. So now they're no longer in direct sunlight. You can even grow them in a room like this, right? Seriously, on a tabletop. Some of them require a little bit cooler temperatures, and I'll finish up this video later when we're harvesting, but is that just so beautiful? Like, how fun is this? I'm not sure that I've ever had this much fun growing stuff. The mushrooms are absolutely beautiful. Check them out. We've got all these different kinds, but it looks like it's about time to harvest some of the shiitake. And so I'm going to just harvest them and make something with them really quickly. Now, from what I understand, because I've never done this before, I'm a total newbie, so feel free to correct me. But from what I understand, we harvest the mushrooms before they turn all the way up and out, and you can see how nice and pretty that is. But if they look more like a button, kind of like, I don't know if you can see like this one, I'm not gonna harvest it yet because it looks like it could really grow for more. But oh, look how pretty. This is just so exciting. I've harvested this gorgeous bowl of them, and we're gonna work with them, but I'm gonna leave all of the rest of these on there and put this bag back on top to keep it nice and moist and let them grow some more. Okay, so just what we harvested of the mushrooms today is about 3/4 of a pound of shiitake mushrooms. And a pound goes for anywhere between $10 and $12 or more. And so this is fantastic. I usually have to buy the cheap mushrooms at the store, but this is super fantastic. So this recipe that I'm gonna use is super simple. And we're gonna fry up the mushrooms, the cut up mushrooms, in olive oil. And we're just going to let them saute until they're brown and they look beautiful. And then we're gonna add some onion and some garlic and some salt and some pepper, and just let it go for 2 or 3 more minutes until it's beautiful and tasty. And then we'll have John come taste it so we really know what it's like. Now these are just the stems. With shiitake mushrooms, I guess they're just too fibrous to actually eat, but they would be really great added into one of my broths. So I'm just gonna put these into the fridge, and then the next time I make a bone broth or a soup stock, I'll just throw those into. So let's get cooking. Okay, look at this. That looks so good.
Really good. And you notice I always show up when there's food. Just an instinct.
Okay, that's really good. Now, if you would like to do this, I'm throwing things. I got these from fieldandforest.net, and this was really fun and really easy. And I grew them in my own house. I don't know, it's kind of like this miracle to me, just because I've never done this before. Now, I'm afraid that this video is going to get too long as I harvest all the rest of these and cook them up. So this will just be part 1. And then we'll create some more videos with some of these other mushrooms that I've never even heard of before.
Yeah, sounds really cool. So now the question of the day. What is your favorite kind of mushroom? Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.